Yo, J Bomber, how you doing, man? What's good? Um, I'm playing some Bounty Rush until someone comes in. Well, a specific someone. I'm waiting until Candido shows up so that I can really talk about what I want to talk about. But until then, I'm glad you've been doing great, Bomber. What you been up to? Like what, gang? I wanted to talk about anime games and also Bandai, specifically specifically how we have to stop just accepting whatever Bandai gives us and not be okay with just the bare minimum. We've had the bare minimum for literal years, bro. It's about time. It's about time we do something about it. And granted, I know I'm literally a small voice. And like, oh, I didn't see what game mode it was. Yeah, scam die. I dang. I picked the wrong character for this, bro. Yeah, something needs to be done. Also, hold on. Let me go back into that. But yeah, I want to try to do something different. And granted, once again, my voice is as small as it comes. because I don't believe like I can. I don't believe it's gonna make a difference, but I want to try. You know. Small but important. Yeah, I hope so. hmm No hope. No hope. It's fact. Yeah, but it's like somebody. Somebody has to at least try, bro. And I want to at least try, even if it, even if it amounts to nothing. I want to try at least, you know. Oh, beautiful. Get this Brawl 8 out the way. So, like, for example, J Bomber, I wanted to talk about Xenoverse. Because, I mean, whether I like it or not, Xenoverse is a part of my channel. And, you know, I like Xenoverse, but it needs help. Mm-hmm. Candido. Wait a minute. All right, Candido. It's time, brother. Look, I want to try to make a difference for video games, anime games. And I'm not talking about the small differences. No. I want I want to try to do something. Like, for example, I'm sick of just asking for the bare minimum. I'm sick of them giving us the bare minimum. I'm sick of whenever an anime game comes out, it's low quality. Like, where were where are the devs that can make a full game and not have to rely on DLC for people to enjoy it? Or to make money just from the DLC. If your game is great, it will make money. You want to change and I'm here for it? Look. Since y'all have been saying that I'm the reason for Pirate Warriors 4 still living, which I don't think so, but you know what? If that is true, right? If it is true, then I need to do something, right? I need to. Their names are NetEase. Yeah. And the thing is, with NetEase, they just appease to the audience. And can you blame them? It works. You listen to them. Boom. And of course, they have their own plans for the game, which is fine. But making sure the audience, a majority of the audience is happy, is another thing. And Bandai and a lot of other gaming companies have missed that part. So, Candido, let me know something. Anybody who plays Xenoverse, even people rewatching this, what is something that you want in Xenoverse? And you might be asking, why am I starting with Xenoverse? If on the 26th we don't get this Xenoverse 3 that y'all keep saying it might be here, listen, if it's not there, they're just gonna keep updating Xenoverse 2. So, if we're gonna keep getting updates for that game, the game itself needs to fully upgrade. It's 2026, and we're still stuck in the... oh, every time you make a new character, you have to play through the entire game. Man, we don't... nobody wants to deal with that. And also, regardless of how people feel about it, I understand that Saiyans are the ones that always get the new transformations, but we gotta be honest and be real with ourselves. Truly. We can't just keep letting them get away with this, you know. Like, how long are y'all gonna be satisfied until... like, I swear, people who play Xenoverse only care about the Saiyans. And I understand, you know, Saiyans are the main characters. But there's other races. And the other races suck in comparison. Yeah, but in the process, that made the two worst versions of Deadpool worse. Tank Pool sucks now. And Dual Pool, you have to play a little differently. But Heal Pool was the problem. Like, Heal Pool can get his ultimate so quickly. Maybe a grade 8 form, Thin Majin, Android race, like Cell. He doesn't know what's gonna happen in the event, but he now started posting these. Wait a minute, there's a shield next to your name. What the? That's weird. Why is there a shield? Oh, post those. I'll watch those later. But okay, if those emails that I sent out actually made a difference, then I'm gonna try something. I'm going to make my own quality of life email. Well, quality of life update, basically. And, at first I was just thinking the bare minimum. But, if I do it the same way I did it with Pirate Warriors 4, oh man. Dang. They're shorts, so you good? Oh, okay, cool, cool. Bro, all we had to do was get another flag. We didn't have another runner. Oh my god. I want the netcode fixed. Okay. Here's the thing. The netcode needs to be fixed. This is very true and crucial. But will they fix it? No. At this point, before they fix the netcode, I'd rather make the game just a better place. Because we also need to make the game like more new player friendly. Because that's one of the biggest turnoffs is that compared to the PC version, console version sucks. Because you have to really grind everything. And if you don't get the DLCs, you are just really left behind. For real, for real. Now, for sure, Because here's another reason why I'm saying that before we fix the net code, they have to update the game overall, because netcode is probably going to take up the most time. Truly. Like, truly, the updating the netcode is probably going to take up the most time, bro. E-show. Oh, well, got him to 100. Because here's another thing. If they now, here's the thing. If they fix the netcode, who does that benefit? Because you might be thinking, oh no, it benefits all of us. To an extent. Because here's the other thing about fixing the netcode before anything else, is we'll still have to deal with all the glitches. What's up, Cheese? We'll still have to deal with all the base glitches that are in the game. And they might fix the netcode, but is the netcode that they give us, is that going to be better than what we got? And another thing, just because they fix the netcode doesn't fix the cheese. People will be able to cheese you better in better netcode. All right, let me. Where's Isha? King's destruction is nuts. What you been up to, man? Don't forget that link to the ad. It's about Xenoverse, funny enough. Oh, okay. Pirate Warriors 4 can get a whole squad of Enos or Zephyrs. Yeah. Pirate Warriors 4 is another game I want to tackle. For right now, Pirate Warriors 4 and Xenoverse 2 are the games I really want to tackle because, first off, Pirate Warriors 4 is one of the best-selling Dynasty Warrior games ever. And I'm saying that because not only is it over a good IP, but the series overall has been selling, well, more and more because people are interested. But they have to add new things to make people more interested in the game. If it gets fixed, I might go back to PvP to try it out. See, then you go back to PvP, but now this helps the people who do those one-shot combos or the people who exploit broken mechanics in the game. And then it's just going to be a never-ending loop. Okay, Now that Candido, you are here, we can. After this match, I'm gonna pull up a document that, honestly, I was making yesterday. Because I had some trouble falling asleep, so I was like, well, let me look up some stuff that I can lock in on. Bro, I've been trying to learn how to make videos, bro. I don't know. It's either I'm stupid or like my computer has some type of issue. But regardless, I just can't make videos right now. Mm. But the start glitch is still there. Oh my god. Oh my god. Dang, that still hit me. But what else? Everyone's gonna say we want new forms. Bro. Bro, people are so focused on transformations that like they don't they want the game to stay broken. They want the game to stay not fun. And it's like, yeah, the game needs transformations, but before transformations, can we fix it? Like, nobody wants to play a broken game all the time. Okay, but let's switch gears. Oh, I gotta. Well, I gotta summon. Might as well use it. Mom, are you good? Is something... Are you bleeding? Are you okay? Okay. So, let me watch these also. This is very important also.
No, I'm not talking about the actual like monetary amount to buy all the DLCs. I'm talking about what does Xenoverse 2's DLC actually do for the game, and Bandai Namco is actually helping me because they put out a flowchart recently about different ways to discover your most ideal DLC for Xenoverse 2, and I'm going to dig into that in a bit, but for now I wanted to talk about how DLC in Xenoverse 2 has actually put the game in like a sinking ship kind of situation. Oh, I forgot to say hello everyone, it's me again, Steel J here, back to more Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 DLC information. And I wanted to talk about DLC in general with Xenoverse 2, how it's not just that the DLC costs way more than the actual game. I'm pretty sure the price of the regular game now, because it's been several years, Xenoverse 2 is like a $30, $40 game now, but the DLC collectively is over $200, and this is not if you buy it individually. If you buy it in packs, not individually, in packs, it costs over $200 to get all of the DLC in this game. And obviously this is a lot, this is kind of egregious now, hence why even Bandai Namco recently put out that there's actually, hey, if you want, you know, regular things like, oh, are you here for the story? Do you want to learn moves from Masters? Are you interested in the secrets of the universe? Super Pack 1 and 2. If you play Dragon Ball FighterZ, get the Ultra Pack for 21, blah, 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 right? There's basically tons of different ways you can get Xenoverse 2 DLC. Now, my main issue with this graph, and I'm going to dig into it later, my main issue with it is realistically, the game supports buying all the DLC. If you don't buy all the DLC, you're missing out on just a lot. So it's one of those games where you kind of just have to buy every pack as they come out, which is really weird. I know most people won't see it that way because the DLC releases are so long between each other. But if you're a new player getting into Xenoverse 2, you basically are just going to buy every DLC pack because that's the most ideal way to actually experience all the content that's in the game, you know? Disregarding that though, I want to talk about how the DLCs actually affect the game overall, because the price of DLC isn't just monetary, it's also the game's stability. Now obviously the game's foundations are not as strong as, I mean, look guys, it's a 2016 game, alright? I don't think a 2016 game was supposed to support over $200 of downloadable content when the regular game was $60. And the regular game, well, I'm not going to say the game was unstable, but it wasn't like the best thing ever, you know? I think the best way to describe Xenoverse 2's current situation is, again, a sinking ship or a table that can't support the amount of weight for it. Now, obviously, the stuff you'd put on a table is like, I don't know, your keyboard, your computer, your monitor, etc., right? But Xenoverse 2 has like the air conditioner on the table. It's got another table on top of the table. It's got like a fridge on top of the table. Like, you need to think about the sheer amount of stuff that's in this game. It doesn't just end at having all of the DLC packs in this game. It also includes all of the free updates in this game, the amount of times the code has changed due to a balance patch, the amount of heavy loaded things onto the game, like tournaments. None of that stuff is listed here. Tournaments also add extra load onto the game. Raid quests also add extra load onto the game, and including the more raid quests, the worse it gets, right? Expert missions, not that they add any more of those, but expert missions also add on to the game, especially because they're actually permanent. They don't cycle out like raids. Content City TV, that really drags the game down. Having multiple time portals in Content City with stuff like the double crystal raids and all those other things on, really like just hits the game hard. And especially if you have unfinished like Hero Coliseum quests, that's a million different prompts going on in Content City at the same time, making it even harder. And I want to remind you guys, the game's load has gotten so heavy now that we do have a new permanent bug that they apparently don't want to fix. We have a new permanent bug that when you start the game sometimes, it just doesn't start. You'll start the game, you'll get stuck on the screen, and you'll have to close the game and reopen it to try with the RNG gods if they'll actually allow you to play the game again this time. The issue with the game's loads is becoming ridiculous, and it only happened with the most recent DLC. This wasn't a thing before, admittedly. Xenoverse 2 like obviously gets worse like the longer it gets, right? But when Future Saga Chapter 3 came out, that's when this new bug came out, where you literally cannot start the game sometimes. You have to sometimes quit the entire game. And I want to remind you, when you press start game, it genuinely, if you're playing on consoles, it genuinely takes like 30 seconds to like a minute for the game to actually start. Even if you're playing on the newest like Series X and like PS5, it genuinely takes ages for the game to actually start. Just to be like, oh, it doesn't work. It doesn't actually work. Close the game and try again. Skip all the opening screens again, and then go through another 30 seconds to a minute of waiting, and maybe this time we'll let you through. And maybe we won't. Maybe it'll take like actually 20 minutes to just start the game. That's a genuine, like, that's not like a small issue. That's a big issue. Because that determines whether you want to play the game or not. That determines if a human being wants to keep playing Xenoverse 2 or not. Here's a good example. Future Saga Chapter 4. That's going to release. They're probably not going to fix this bug because they don't fix any of the bugs in this game. Future Saga Chapter 4 is going to release. You're going to buy it. You're going to turn on the game. And you're going to get stuck in that same bug, but worse. Because there's now a whole new DLC on top of it, right? Because they're going to add even more stuff. New characters, new moves, new effects. All of these other different things, right? You'll get stuck in this bug for even longer. And you'll just go, oh, I bought a whole DLC pack to not even play any of the DLC. Because I can't get into the game. Because it's worse than it was before. It's most likely not going to fix. I would like it to get fixed. But I want you guys to tell me now in the comment section down below how many bugs are in this game that got fixed. I would like to know, because to my knowledge, there are not a lot. There have been balance patches, sure, but outright bugs that have been fixed? I don't think so. So let me know how many bugs you actually recall getting fixed over the course of Xenoverse 2's lifespan, because I can't recall that many. So I don't, especially now that it's basically like on Skeleton Crew modes, right? Where we don't really get that many updates anymore. It's pretty tragic. Even Bandai Namco, again, let's get into this now. Even Bandai Namco is actually putting out a most ideal way to like buy or experience like Xenoverse 2's content, right? And this is obviously subjective, because if it's like, oh, if I'm easily drawn to newest content, right? Get, you know, the Future Saga Chapter series right away. But like, how many people actually would pay money for, like, I don't know, Ultra Super Villain Jiren, right? Like, when he's the newest character, sure, but when he's not the newest character, I don't know. Ultra Super Villain Frieza, I like Frieza, but I don't think Frieza's like the most popular, like, playable character in Xenoverse 2. That's gonna be like Ultra Instinct Goku by far. You know what I mean? Some of these are just, you know, subjective. Some of these are just depending on how you interpret it. Like, oh, I want to experience the power of a Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. Extra DLC Pack 4. But that's like a free update. Being Super Saiyan Blue is a free update. I don't know why they put that there. Like, yeah, okay, yeah, oh, sure. DLC Pack 4 is the pack that had Super Saiyan Blue in it, I'm very sure, right? That's the one that released with Vegeta Blue and Fused Zamasu. I'm pretty sure that's the one that came with Super Saiyan Blue. But that's a free update. You don't have to buy the DLC for that. They just want you to buy DLC. The trick question is that the obvious answer is you should buy everything, right? But then if you buy everything, it's more than $200. I think the exact price of all the DLC in Xenoverse 2 is $218. If you buy over, and this is, I think this is without a sale, by the way. No sales. It's $218. And then obviously if you include the game, since the game is now cheaper because of the course of time, it's $241. So, oh, and this is without buying, oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't even mention this. This is without buying TP medals, by the way. And you're probably thinking, well, Steve, why would you buy TP medals? You don't need TP medals. Do you want to get your character past level 99? I bet half of you right now went, oh, he's right. He's correct. Half of you just went, oh, yeah, you're right. I need TP medals so I can unlock slots for custom partners. I need TP medals so I can level up my characters. I need TP medals for this, this, and that. This is without taking into account that you are spending easily over $100 so you can get your character from level 1 or whatever to level 180, right? And it's worse if you're a new player, because new players don't have the same patience we had back in the day, where we would grind Shenron Dragon Balls so we could get to level 80, level 85, level 90, level 95, level 99. Back in those days when they were releasing the DLC packs subsequently, we would just farm Shenron to get that. That wasn't an issue. Shenron gave you like multiple levels at a time anyway, so it's like, it's fair game. But now, someone who's buying the game isn't going to farm Shenron multiple times over. They're going to go, this is really slow. Let me just spend money so I can just level up the whole way. Oh crap, it's not enough. Okay, let me spend even more money. Oh, what? It takes even more TP medals past level 99? Okay, fine. Let me spend even more money. And more, and more, and more. Bro, Xenoverse 2 is not a cheap game anymore. It is a very costly investment. You know, it's not a game. It's actually an investment on the DLC. And you easily spend over $100 leveling up one character from level 1 to 180, right? If we're being realistic, it probably only takes about 100 to go from level 99 to 180. But if you're going from level 1 to 180, it's definitely going to cost like way more than 100. And most people are probably going to do that, especially if they want to experience. Like, people are going to finish story mode at like level 60, 50, maybe 40. And they're going to want to experience the rest of the game's content, parallel quests and all that stuff. Just find that the parallel quests are unbeatable unless if you're a certain level. Unless if you can farm it faster, because they need to be stronger. And some people still don't have power rush and meditation. So guess what they're going to do? They're going to spend hella money, and all of that is just going to go in service to a game that when you start up, it most likely won't actually start up. So, man, this did turn into a rant, but admittedly, how else are you supposed to face this topic? This isn't just me being passionate about the game. This is a real thing that I worry that actual players will experience. I obviously want the best for the game, because as a content creator for the game, why would you ever want the worst for it? I'm going to complain about stuff that are real issues, not things that just bother me exclusively, because if the game does better, I benefit more from it. That just makes sense. So obviously, it's not just, oh, Steve hates key cancels. This is about, I hate anything that drags the game down, because the game being good helps everyone. And obviously, new players would suffer with these issues a lot, which is why I'm ranting from a new player perspective, not from my perspective, because my perspective is, who cares? New DLC pack comes out, I'm expected to spend money on the DLC. Of course, I'm going to spend money to level up my character to the new level cap as well. But for a new player, this is like a nightmare. Like, I didn't think about it, but this isn't even like Naruto Ninja Storm DLC, where it's like, oh, I like Sasuke from this specific version of Naruto, so I'm going to buy that. Or, oh, I like this version of like Naruto. Oh, I like this costume, so I'm gonna get this. In Xenoverse 2, it's like, oh, I like Ultra Instinct Goku. Oh, wait, hold on. All of Ultra Instinct Goku's moves aren't even in this DLC pack. Let's see. Oh, here we go. The rest of them are in this DLC pack. Let me get the hero, the Canton City hero vote pack. Yeah, there you go. Now I have Ultra Instinct Goku's moves. Wait, hold on. I don't know.
Sorry about that. Alright, anyways. Xenoverse did become the GTA of Dragon Ball, this is true. Well, not just the GTA of Dragon Ball, GTA of anime games. But, unlike GTA, there's only so much you can do in the game now. There truly is only so much. And it's not, what would be the word? It's not fair, I guess. And again, like Steve Doge just said, the only way to enjoy the game is to literally buy every single DLC pack, because every single DLC pack impacts the game. And yeah, you get new story mode, but honestly, let's be real, most people don't care about the story mode. I care about the story mode because I want to see how it goes, and especially after the last DLC pack, which gave us the strongest version of Frieza ever. But like, this last DLC pack, I want to see what characters they add. I want to see what more they do. The fact that this game has gotten so much DLC, they're still supporting it, but like, they haven't like really fixed the true issues with the game. That's the problem for me. That's big for me.
Of the transformation. Okay, well now I need to go do that quest. And
is that the Makai saying? What's good with you, brother? Also, when's the next stream, Makai? The street's been asking. Alright. So, one thing that I do want to stress in my update for Xenoverse is I want Xenoverse to basically, I want the size of the game to be minimized. Because if we're being honest, they gotta optimize the game so it runs easier. Not only runs easier, but, you know. Granted, tomorrow? Yes, sir. It's time. Jester maxing. Oh, okay. I'm interested to see that.
Crap, I'm not strong enough. Okay, let me spend some money so I can get some more TP medals so I can actually do this mission. Ah, hell yeah, there we go. Now it's looking great. Now they have all of the Ultra Instinct moves, I want to try Ultra Instinct for a bit. Oh, damn. It's kind of hard to get into the transformation. Now I need skills that I can actually let me go into the transformation. Or a Super Soul that lets me go into the transformation. Looks like I have to wait for a certain raids to happen. So until then, I'm going to settle for this other skill in the parallel quest. Oh, that parallel quest is only unlockable if I spend the money for that DLC. So I guess now I'm going to have to do that. You guys can see the problem, right? This game becomes a financial sinkhole after a certain point. It is an investment. If you just want Ultra Instinct alone, this game is crazy. Beast, the same is going to apply to Beast. And the same with Super Saiyan Blue. Admittedly, Blue and Blue Evolved are way stronger, so you don't have to do as much to make them better. But you guys know what I mean. This game can be kind of scary if you're just playing it for fun, because it does this to you. So, yeah, I don't want to turn this into a super lengthy rant. I think you guys do get the point. This game is pretty rough on your wallet. You guys let me know personally what it's been like for you. I'll tell you guys my standpoint since we're at the end of the video now. As a content creator, obviously, I naturally just spend money on this game. The game rewards me, so I reward the game back. It's a give and take exchange. When a new DLC comes out, I buy the new DLC. I level up my characters to the new level cap, and it's done and dusted, right? That's the way it works. For you guys, I would like to know what you experience, because some of you are watching this video and you're not level 180. You know, some of you are level 140, level 120, 99, level 10 because you just got the game and you just clicked on this video. Some of you guys are going to really be going through it. So I would like to know, what is it like for you guys trying to level up or catch up to the newest content in this game? Because I want to remind you, Bandai did put out this recently. They're obviously gearing up to reveal the DLC because, again, the Genki Damatsuri happens in 2 days. So obviously we're going to get the Future Cycle Chapter 40s then, which is why they're building up to it by, you know, talking about all this DLC stuff now. Again, this was 8 hours ago. So, yeah, I do think that's a pretty solid place to end the video. You guys let me know what you think.
I personally believe that NetEase is setting a standard. I said sending instead of setting. All right, but as I said, they are I can't. Oh my god. Okay, setting a standard for developers because NetEase created Marvel Rivals, and then after creating Marvel Rivals, they gave us characters that we love and appreciate. They updated all aspects of the game. They added more stuff to give people more options to play the game. They also are currently still optimizing Rivals to run faster on all consoles. And you know what? We need more developers to be like this. And honestly, like, I hate it because it's like NetEase for real got a gold mine with Rivals. Bro, I could not speak, bro. Setting. I can't speak. But for real, they're setting a standard that we need to place on other developers. And I know it's like, oh, you're gonna make the developers feel like they're not doing enough. Maybe we need to. And I won't lie, like, I know that sounds like, oh, you're just gonna cause a problem, but in reality, look, if we're going into this new meta of $80 games because of Nintendo. We can't just always be okay with the bare minimum and they slap $80 on it. And I know I'm talking about Xenoverse, but if you really think about it, investing in Xenoverse means you have to spend literally half your paycheck just to get 2 DLCs. And it gets worse. It somehow gets worse, bro. So what the game industry needs is developers to do the same thing as NetEase. We need developers that will take the time to update their game so it's optimized and runs better. How many developers do you see doing this? What's up, Manny? Not many. And it's like, come on. We need more developers to do this. And the worst part is, every time we have developers that are like NetEase, every time we do, what do they get? Instead of praise for the good ideas and the goodness of their hearts to do that, we get a large amount of the community hating on these developers. And it's like, don't hate on them because they're all we got. You people are crying about the bare minimum. You're crying over a piece of paper getting ripped. Meanwhile, they're the people making the paper. Don't cry about a ripped piece of paper when they're creating so much to give you everything you need in a video game. Overwatch took 10 years to be optimized. And notice that. Overwatch took 10 years. Marvel Rivals is doing that now. And I would say that the game is running better. It literally is. Like, compared to where Marvel... Honestly, when Marvel Rivals first came out, it was running perfect. Of course, it had its issues here and there, but they're definitely fixing the optimization. Bandai, for sure, needs to upgrade on optimization for all their games. All of them. Deadpool not having clutter on the screen, people are saying it's a nerf. I mean, it's only a nerf to like Tank Pool and Duelist Deadpool. Like, it's only a nerf to those two, not Heal Pool. Okay. Nah, it's Heal Pool too. No, Heal Pool didn't get... Bro, Heal Pool can get his ult so quickly compared to the other two now. Like, this is a big nerf to Tank and Dual Pool. Like, Heal Pool is still good because he can get his ult so quickly. Okay. Now, the next thing, I have some things I want to show and react to. So first off, game modes we need.
Game modes like the Endless Lobby, game modes like the Crystal Raid Boss mode and the Double Crystal Raid Boss mode, and the Xenoverse exclusive Hero Coliseum. But with the potential Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3 around the corner, I want to talk about all the game modes that I want to see in that game. But right before I get into that, I do want to say I've had a lot of fun covering Xenoverse 3 for like the past week I've been doing this, and you guys commenting things that you personally want to see from Xenoverse 3 and all of your ideas. So I want to let you guys know I've started 2 hashtags. Hashtag We Want Xenoverse 3 and hashtag Make Xenoverse 3 Great. So I want you guys to go in the comment section and comment the things that you want to see in Xenoverse 3, and at the end of your comment, make sure to put those 2 hashtags. And don't just do that on my video, Anytime you see a Xenoverse 3 video or discussion, put those hashtags and put the things that you personally want to see in the game. On YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, really just try to spread this thing around and let's push for the game Xenoverse 3 and for the quality that the game can give us. But that's enough yapping, let's get into the video. Now, when it comes to modes that Xenoverse 3 needs to add, there are no better than the tournament mode. And with tournaments, there are different rules and restrictions that you can add. Things like character restrictions, time limits, stages. But the most interesting thing you can have in tournaments are things like HP recovery after matches, flying, losing if you get hit out of bounds. Imagine playing in a tournament where you only get 50% or maybe even 20% of your health back after every match. That would add actual consequence to taking too much damage in each match, and everyone will have to deal with that consequence. When it comes to the no flying rule, that would actually be pretty easy to implement in Xenoverse. There's literally a boost dash button in the game, just disable that. Also take away the flight whenever you hold the jump button. And whenever your character somehow does make it in the air, do what they did with Sparking Zero. Your character will just start to slowly fall down. Now, if that's literally all they add, that would still be amazing. But I try my best to come up with really good ideas of what they could do for Xenoverse 3, so I want to take this thing a step further. Rules and restrictions only make up half of what I think a tournament should be. The rest of it should be the actual things we saw in the show. Now, for the regular world tournament, that should be the basic bread and butter. There's a bracket, everyone fights until there's only 2 guys left, and at the end, the guy who wins at the end is the winner. But for something like a Cell Games tournament, that should be different. Now, take pretty much everything that the World Tournament has, but make it to where the host is the final boss. Then there's the consecutive 1v1 type tournament. And we've seen this a lot in Dragon Ball. I mean, Fortune Teller Baba's tournament was the first consecutive 1v1 tournament. Then in Dragon Ball Super, we got things like the Universe 6 vs 7 tournament. And remember, this is a consecutive 1v1 type of thing, so there are no loading screens or waiting times in between the matches. It's literally some guy gets knocked out and the next guy goes up. So if you're on low health, low stamina, low ki, you stay that way while someone comes in fresh, ready to beat the hell out of you. Which, fun fact, is why Vegeta lost the hit. But nah, imagine one guy beats like 3 to 5 guys consecutively, like, oh my goodness, that would be so cool. Then in Dragon Ball Super, we got the Zen exhibition matches, which is like the game mode equivalent of best 2 out of 3. Now, in this mode, instead of it being consecutive one-on-ones, it's gonna be 3 separate one-on-one fights that take place after each other. So maybe red team wins the first one, blue team wins the second one, and the third match would be like the tiebreaker. That would be really cool. But I do think with this mode, it shouldn't just be best 2 out of 3, make it best 3 out of 5 too. And if Xenoverse wants to be goated, best 4 out of 7? Oh my goodness, that would be so clean, bro. And again, these won't be happening at the same time. They're gonna happen after each other. So you can like watch your team either get like a full sweep immediately or have to watch your team slowly win, lose, and wait for the tiebreaker at the end. Dude, that would be so exciting. And this is one of the game modes I really want them to add, the Tournament of Destroyers. So basically, if you don't know, in the manga, the Gods of Destruction had a battle royale to see who was the strongest God of Destruction that would be left standing. And that would obviously be really fun and chaotic, but the evolution of a battle royale is a team battle royale. And you know exactly where I'm going with this. We need a tournament of power mode, bro, a team battle royale. Give us like 6 or 7 teams of 3 people, and that in of itself would be so cool. And again, we're gonna need a bigger, better tournament of power map. Like I need a tournament of power map that's like the size of Archipelago, bro. Like I'm gonna need them to go crazy with that. But there's one more type of tournament they could add, and this would be crazy. So in the BoJack movie, there is a battle royale, and after the battle royale, there was multiple of them. The people who won each of those battle royales went into like a bracket style tournament, and then they would have to fight each other, and at the end, the winner of that would have to fight against Mr. Satan. So imagine like a just crazy like 3-stage tournament type of thing. That would be crazy. I'm not even gonna ask for that, but like I could see that being like some crazy like ranked tournament thing they do over like a week. Like that would be crazy. Now that's the end of the tournament segment of this video, but I have a bunch of other game modes I think could be as fun, if not funner. Number 1, gravity training mode. So basically with this game mode, it will be our characters playing on maps or stages that the characters in the original series used for gravity training. And of course, the maps would have a gravity effect on you, which would be making you slow to slower to really slow.
Who this? Oh, his name's Rom Hatcher. I've been just looking up some random YouTubers. He got I think he's getting up there. Plus, he makes some pretty cool videos, Makai. But he's been currently talking about Xenoverse 3, and I'm like, I mean, don't get me wrong, Xenoverse 3 would be great, but it's like, bro, it's 2026. This is a like this game is it's been going on for so long, and we still haven't gotten Xenoverse 3. Like, look, I don't know. I just think people are putting too much hope into it, but that's just me. Now, a gravity chamber could be an AFK mode, but also it could be a great place to have as like a training mode. Super Saiyan 4 comes to Xenoverse 3. I mean, do we really need more Super Saiyan transformations, though? I'm Jester maxing. Makai, you gotta go crazy if Xenoverse 3 comes out, bro.
The first map idea I have is King Kai, and aside from us getting like our first real King Kai map, which would be amazing, doing how they did in the other Budokai games, I think on this it will be like a permanent times 10 gravity slow effect. So like the lowest slow effect they can give you, but it will be constant. The next idea I have is either the ship that Goku used to go to Namek or Vegeta's gravity chamber. Okay, so I have two ideas on how I think they can implement this. So idea number one is that it's going to start at 0 times Earth's normal gravity, but it's going to slowly increase more and more and make our characters slower and slower. But at the end of each cycle, and let's say every cycle is like a minute and 30 seconds, at the end of the cycle you get 30 seconds of fighting with like enhanced speed. And this will be a reference to whenever Goku completed his training and went to Namek, and he was just like crazy fast, like faster than he could even believe. But then after that, the gravity's gonna cycle back on, and that'll kind of be a thing, like a minute and 30 of increasing gravity, then 30 seconds of a speed boost, and that'll be like the cycle. Now, my second idea came from when I watched the Goku filler of him almost dying because the gravity machine like started messing up and it started fluctuating. Imagine you're in the chamber, and like every 20 or 30 seconds, it'll just pick a random gravity mode. So maybe it'll be 0, or it could be like 10, or 50, or 100, or 200, or 400, or something like that. And my last idea for a theoretical gravity mode would be a hyperbolic time chamber mode. Actually, Ranmatsu, in the Japanese, it's called the Room of Spirit and Time. And just like King Kai's planet, the time chamber would have a times 10 gravity effect, which again would be the lowest out of all the gravity effects, but the time chamber has a lot more things that can offer a challenge. The time chamber also has way less air than a regular world, like 1/4 as much, and I think because of that, you could also have reduced stamina recovery. And the part I really want them to add is the crazy weather, from the firestorms and the blizzards. I would love if the deeper you go in, the more there's like crazy hazard effects with the ice freezing you and the fire doing fire damage, or maybe you could do like the fire stun, and like visually it would look so cool if they would add the weather change, but also just mechanically it would be really cool too. Okay, that's it for the gravity modes, but I still have more ideas in the noggin, bro. Next game mode they should add, and I know a lot of people want this, a survivor mode. And with this mode, I think you should be fighting hordes of enemies. Now, there's a big problem with Xenoverse where you have to fight like 3 enemies at a time, but the game will make you fight like 20 to 30 dudes, so it's just like the most like obnoxious, slow thing ever that just takes so long. The way to fix this is for Xenoverse to add horde mechanics, like how Dragon Ball Kakarot has some. And Xenoverse already has specific moves for specific game modes, like how there's like the Crystal Raid boss moves. Rage Saucer also fits as a horde move. Ironically, a lot of the raid boss mode moves would fit as horde moves because they're just really big, AoE attacking a lot of characters at the same time. So that would actually fit. They could actually do that. And then plus, you could just kind of take some of the same generic horde moves that Kakarot has, where you just zoom around, punch a bunch of people, moves where you make big explosions, but like, just make sure to give us more. We need a variety of moves. And that's one of the things I'm making a video on in the future, is that raid bosses need more moves. And there's a lot of characters you can use to make, horde battles. There's the Frieza soldiers, there's the 1 billion metal coolers. You want to go manga content? The few Zamasus? You could even do like a Janemba type of thing where hell's open and all the people are coming back and all the villains are coming back. Or, again, it's kind of the same concept. Dragon Ball GT, Super 17, hell is opened up again, all the old villains are coming back. You could do a lot of stuff like that. You can really get creative with something like that. And my own unique horde idea is that you just take all the NPC time controllers or even just reuse some of the actual time controllers that are like made by people, and then you just have us fight them. But it's like, oh, baby's controlling people in Kantan, fight these people. And this is where I'm going with this. I want all the horde modes and have like bosses at the end of like every 10 hordes. Give us like a boss fight, you know? Let us fight gigantic metal bit cooler. Let us fight against Fat Janemba and then Janemba. Let's fight against Super 17 or who's ever related to the horde. Let us fight the boss fight version of that. And of course, every like level is going to get like exceedingly harder and stuff. You know, that's obvious stuff, but I think that's how like a really, really fun, cool horde mode could work. And my final game mode idea isn't even actually my idea. I gotta give all the credit to my bro, Just Boog. I'm gonna have his channel linked below, but he gave me this idea. And it is a capture the flag mode, but instead of capturing flags, you're capturing Dragon Balls across the map. And the only input I have on what this mode should have, because I don't have that much input on it, but one, the Dragon Ball location should be random every single match, and two, unlike regular parallel quests where you can just kind of have the Dragon Radar at the beginning of the match, make the Dragon Radar something you have to like get at the beginning of it, like as soon as possible. And both sides are fighting to get the Dragon Radar, and only one guy has it, so you got to make sure the guy with it doesn't get knocked out, or the other guys can like pick it up off his body or something like that. I think something like that would be really, really cool. It's like when you play dodgeball and at the beginning of the round, you have to like run to the middle of the court and get the dodgeballs as like ammo and stuff, kind of like that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I think those are all the ideas I have in my head so far of like game modes that I would like to see in Ace Universe 3. Maybe if I get some more ideas, I can make like a second part 2 to this video, or maybe if you guys give me some of your ideas of like, hey, we want to see this as a game mode, or we want to see this as a game mode, let me know. You know what I'm saying? I'll make another video. That'd be pretty cool. But I think that's pretty much the end of this video.
Good ideas. Good ideas overall. Now, my input on some new game modes. I'm surprised this hasn't happened, but we have a whole school. Why don't we have a questionnaire game mode? And the reason why I'm saying this is because Pirate Warriors 4 added a whole mission that is a questionnaire on One Piece content. So it's like, what? Why not have that for Dragon Ball? Plus, people always talk about like testing their knowledge about anime. So why not put a questionnaire in Xenoverse? And it might not sound like a lot, but YouTubers would literally take this and, they would challenge their friends. You can already see it. Like, you can literally see Dragon Ball YouTubers fighting each other in questionnaires because they don't want to get a missed question. Now, here's the two that I wanted to show you, Candido, because I just want to point out this guy made a lot of videos and I was checking them out. Every Saiyan CAC transformation to add, making the Demon Realm race supreme in Xenoverse 3. Saiyan Saga skills we need. Every combat mechanic we need. Making playable giants perfect. Fixing the cheese and balancing game mechanics. Making raid bosses fun again. Every Saiyan Saga Vegeta skill we need. Making what ifs great again. I already showed you the game mode. Making Android race work. This guy has a lot of stuff. And by a lot, I mean not that much, but I see potential. So we're gonna react to this. Saiyan Saga skills.
On on my journey of finding every single skill we need in Dragon Ball Universe 3, I have covered Saiyan Saga Goku, Saiyan Saga Vegeta, but before we move on to Namek, I'm gonna get the rest of the Saiyan Saga skills that we need. And I'm not even gonna waste your time, so let's get right into it. First move on the list is the Explosive Demon Breath. And right now, you're probably thinking to yourself,
Ron Hatcher, I don't even know what the Explosive Demon Breath is.
this right here is one of Piccolo's greatest moves ever, especially from a Dragon Ball game standpoint. This is always his best move from like an early Saga level. And I will enjoy hitting you with this move on Xenoverse 3. Next move I want in Xenoverse 3 is the multi-form technique. Now, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I'm gonna make a whole other video just on how cloning moves would work in a potential Xenoverse 3. That's gonna be its own video, but I'm gonna drop a little bit of sauce of how I think the multi-form technique could work in Xenoverse 3. The most simple idea I have of this move working will be you making 2 or 3 clones right beside you. And after that, whatever super attack you do, those clones will also do. So, you do a Death Beam, they're gonna do that. You do a Kamehameha, they're gonna do that. You do the Meteor Crash, you get to jump your opponent like a Jujutsu Kaisen character. I know y'all wanna do that. Listen, every time I make these videos, I'm making something that I think you guys would also wanna do in the game, bro, because I know that I wanna do it. I can also see there being an input you could do to spread out your clones before you do the super attack. And there are 2 ways to balance this. Either all your attacks will only do 1/4 damage, or each clone will take up ki. So, if you do a regular Kamehameha super attack, that will take up 4 ki bars. Or 3 ki bars if there's only 3 clones. But I could see some insane stamina break TODs just by having the latter, so I think maybe, let's just be lore accurate, your power gets split up by every clone, 1/4 damage, 1/3 damage. Let's be lore accurate for balance sake. But I do think the clones should have their own hitbox, so if you do an attack that hits the clones, they will get 1 shot. But this could get super cancerous, so to make it ultra super mega balanced, it might do 1/4 damage and still take up 4 times the amount of ki. I don't know. Listen, I want stuff to be balanced, but I do want stuff to also be really useful and fun. But shooting out 4 attacks, depending on what the attack is, can be insane, bro. Literally crazy. And another insane move I want to add to the game is Namekian Regeneration. And yes, I mean ripping that arm off and shooting another one out. This move will be like a mix of the quick sleep skill that Majins have and also the revenge death ball that Baby has. Now you're probably thinking, Ram Hatcher, how would that even work in an actual game environment? What do you mean by that? I got you, I'm about to explain. So basically in the show, as you probably already know, whenever a Namekian has to regenerate, it takes a lot of stamina. And I don't want the Namekian mechanic to be as strong as Quick Sleep because Namekians already have a natural regeneration and I don't want them to have like times double 2 regeneration. That would be crazy. So we're gonna make this balanced. Basically, I think the more stamina you put into it, you're gonna charge it up the same way you can charge up Baby's Revenge Death Ball, but I guess like instead of building ki, you're like draining ki, or I guess draining stamina, draining your stamina bar. The more stamina you take, the bigger the regeneration buff is. So like if you use up like 10 stamina bars, that is 1 bar of health. And you're probably thinking,
But Ron Hatcher, that sounds balanced, but my opponent can just break their own stamina, and then they can just cheese me by constantly healing and breaking their own stamina. I don't want to deal with that.
shh, it's okay. I made a video already talking about how they can fix that cheese stuff in Xenoverse 3. Plugging that at the top right there. I know you see it. Check it out if you have not seen it. Look at me naturally plugging in my own videos. I'm growing as a YouTuber. I'm There's something wrong with me. Fuck, this is weird. I'm sorry y'all had to hear that. But yeah, I think this will be like a really cool super attack healing move for the Namekians. It'll be lore accurate, bro. I'm trying to rip off my arm and heal another arm, bro. That sounds sick. But I can't see ripping off my own arm being too graphic, so maybe like my arm just like disappears magically and then I like just regrow one that way. I'll be cool with that too. Next on the list is I'm a top class warrior. And you're probably thinking, Ram Hatcher, why do you want this in the game? This is random, bro. Listen, this will be more of a technical move, nothing too flashy, but it'll be very useful in combat. Think of something like Sonic Kick that goes behind your opponent and kicks them in the back of the head. That is a really good move, and I think this move could have a similar function. The next move I want to see is Nappa's Blazing Storm, and I feel like this move low-key looks really cool, but it doesn't even have to be its own move. This could be like an enhancement or like a different inputs of the Giant Storm technique. It'll be really similar to Android 21's swiping attack, but instead of swiping a beam, you just swipe explosions across the screen, bro. I feel like that would be really sick. And the last move on this list is a move I don't think we've seen since like 2012, 2011, bro. It is Gohan's hidden power move. And as you can see on screen, this is the move that Gohan did when Piccolo threw him at that plateau. But when it comes to the actual function of this move, and by the way, I think this move should be an ultimate, but I think this move should function like Kefla's Gigantic Breaker, where if you do the move close or if you do the move in a combo, it does really low damage, but if you do the move far away, it'll shoot a beam out and do a lot of damage. But that is pretty much it for the Saiyan Saga moves. Let me know any move that I missed from the Saiyan Saga that you want to see in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. And the next skill video will cover the Namek Saga, but my next video that I'm going to upload pretty
Why don't we have this move? That's a good question. And honestly, I don't know. Also, Candido, just know, this is the guy that made me really think about crazy crazy Xenoverse what-ifs.
Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1 essentially revives the entire Dragon Ball gaming experience, because instead of making a story mode about the same Dragon Ball story that we've watched for years, played through for years, Dragon Ball Xenoverse said, what if? What if every moment in Dragon Ball, moments that you know like the back of your hand, changed into something new, something that you've never seen before? And this new story was not something we just had to watch from the cup chair. No, we got to make our own unique avatars and play through it ourselves. Off that alone, the Xenoverse series might be the greatest Dragon Ball game franchise of all time. And when Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 got announced, I was thinking that this wouldn't just be an addition to the amazing story and concept of Xenoverse. It would be like an evolution to that. But instead of getting an evolution, we got purple. Purple. The literal exact same thing in the show, but purple. Again, the same thing, but purple. What could have been infinite possibilities for the greatest what-if scenarios, what-if characters to ever grace Dragon Ball games just became making some guy purple and or just adding some guy that wasn't there originally. And usually the guy they're adding doesn't have any significant value when it comes to being there. Like, why is Metal Cooler at the Cell games? That is so random. But sometimes it does make sense, like having Cooler in Frieza. That makes a lot of sense. And you know, having Cooler for a third time in Resurrection of F is kind of pushing it. That's a bit much. But that's still better than having Broly show up in the Buu Saga in the Majin Vegeta versus Goku fight. And Goku was gonna acknowledge that Broly was there. But Vegeta just cut him off and they ignore him for like the rest of the arc. But it's cool, whenever we beat him, we go on to fight Super Buu with Gohan. And why is Broly back? Xenoverse, if you want Broly in the Buu Saga that badly, then maybe have Buu absorb him. That would be something really, really cool. Instead of just giving him a purple aura and making him just be there just to get beat. He actually adds nothing to being there. And that's kind of the biggest problem with the what-ifs in Xenoverse, and that's exactly what we're going to cover in this video of how Xenoverse 3 can save what-ifs. And before we fully get into this, I want to say that Xenoverse has good what-ifs. I'm not saying that Xenoverse literally has no good what-ifs. Future Saga 3 has one of the coolest things ever. A Supreme Kai of Time Frieza storyline. That is amazing. That is so creative and amazing. The problem is just that the heavy majority of the what-ifs are just really purple guys and adding a character for some reason, like, which is really bad. So we're gonna go over some what-ifs that I think they could have done instead, and some of the ones I just really want in Xenoverse 3 in general. So we're gonna start with one of the first DLC packs in the game, Super Pack 4. And don't get me wrong, when this thing first came out, this was amazing. The trailer for it was amazing. The CGI cutscenes in this pack were so beautiful to look at. And the Fusamasu final boss was so difficult. Like, it was actually so funny seeing everyone struggle to beat him. But the one problem with this DLC, other than us not getting Super Saiyan Rage Trunks as a preset, that's so weird, is that it's pretty much the exact same thing we saw in the anime. And in a game like Xenoverse, that's the one thing that we should never do. Xenoverse is all about the infinite possibilities of what could have happened, with the influence of crazy time hoppers going around changing history. But there was one moment in the story that really was different from the anime, and that's when Turtles showed up. And again, you know, this is an obvious thing they could do. The first Goku Black or the first Evil Goku with the new Evil Goku, that's cool, that's fine. But then randomly they have like a bunch of other evil niggas show up, like, why is Lord Slug here? Why is Broly here? Okay, maybe Broly makes sense because they all look like Kakarot, but why the fuck is Metal Cooler back again? Also, side note, isn't it really weird that Turles and Lord Slug were supposed to be like the main underlings of Mira and Toa, but they got bodied by us in like the early Namek saga? Honestly, I would really love if they would bring back them in Xenoverse 3. Give Slug like some evil Orange Piccolo type of form. But Orange Piccolo uses the Dragon Balls as his colors, so maybe Slug can get the Black Star or the Shadow Dragon Balls, or maybe some new type of evil Dragon Balls that will be in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 3. Give Turtles, I don't know, Diamond Super Saiyan 4 just to make him different from all the other God form stuff. I think that'd be pretty cool. But in my opinion, this scene right here of a new guy showing up could have been completely different, and we could have gotten one of the greatest what if storylines to ever grace Dragon Ball ever. The character that should have been here is...
お前も俺の奴隷となるのだ。
Baby Vegeta. Oh my goodness, this would have been crazy. And I'm sure I don't have to explain to you why this would fit so well and be so cool. I mean, Baby, Zamasu, both the best villains in their series. Both are body snatchers. And most importantly, both have the components needed to make Vegito. So you know exactly where I'm going with this. So imagine you're playing the DLC. Goku Black is trying to fuse with Zamasu, but he can't because Zamasu has been sealed away with the Mafuba. So he has to fuse with somebody else. I know you're picking up what I'm putting down right now, bro. Now, some of you may argue that it's like a little bit too convenient to kind of change the story to have it fit the what if, but Xenoverse has already done something like this, and I'm going to show you. So in the Resurrection of F Saga, they made a change to the wishes. Originally, they revived Frieza, then the Pilaf gang used the other wish for money, right? But in Xenoverse 2, they used the second wish to revive Cooler so Cooler could be there in the first place, alright? So this type of stuff is fair game and on the table. But let's get back to the what if, alright? Y'all know what I'm cooking. Goku Black is gonna have to fuse with Baby Vegeta, creating Baby Vegito Black. Oh my goodness, imagine how crazy this would have been. This would have been generational, dude. And listen, it's not like Fuse Zamasu was weak at all or anything. He was actually doing pretty well against Vegito. And you know, if I want to be a nerd power scaler, I would say that Zamasu was stronger than Baby Vegeta. But for this what if, you know, using some cool Xenoverse 2 logic, and we're gonna have Baby Vegito Black putting the hands on Vegito in your CAC. So you really gotta work together to get this dub. And this guy is gonna be very, very tough. Just as tough as the corrupted Zamasu was in the official DLC, but with more unique, cool moves, dude. Like, imagine an evil Big Bang Kamehameha. And you're probably wondering, Ramhatcher, why are you showing the final Kamehameha if you said Big Bang Kamehameha? Well, just watch this clip. Baby needs to check Vegeta's memories again because he did not get that attack name right at all. But whether it's an evil Big Bang Kamehameha, an evil final Kamehameha, I don't really care that much about that. Make that a super attack. But what I am going to need is a combination of Revenge Death Ball and Divine Wrath, and also do something with Lightning of Absolution, put Revenge on the name, make the lightning all evil and black and dark and mysterious.
Oh, Lord, don't get me salivating and fantasizing about things.
And my really unique ultimate idea for this fusion is a combination of the Divine Lasso and Baby's heat-seeking Ki Blast that will come after you even if they miss. Pretty much Blades of Judgment on steroids. And there's also the Gigantic Crow, there's the Keyblade moves, and you know, it could end there. That could be the end of it, you know, but I like to go a little bit further with things, man. And you know, we have Baby Vegeta, a Saiyan, we have Goku Black, the body of a Saiyan. Just give us Baby Vegito Black Grade 8. Just give it to us, bro. Come on. You can do it easily. All we need is some blood waves, bro. Come on. And you know, if I was a crazy person, an insane person, I would have, you know, some crazy idea of like, oh, well, Baby can't go Super Saiyan 4 because his Tuffle cells are getting in the way of it. But if you were to hypothetically fuse with a full-blooded Saiyan, then maybe he would have enough Saiyan cells to still go Super Saiyan 4, and then, you know, maybe we could get like a hypothetical Super Saiyan 4 baby Vegito Black. I'm stop. I'm doing too much. I'm sorry, audience. Also, because Baby and Goku Black are not Kais, they could actually low-key be winning this battle in the story mode, but just unfused the same way Vegito Blue did. Imagine just like surviving this OP monster winning by the skin of our teeth. Also, before any of you guys say, actually, Rom Hatcher, Baby was not in the game when that DLC came out. You're right. Because someone else was in the game that shouldn't have been there. His name is Bojack. Why was Bojack in that DLC? I don't know why they released Bojack in that DLC pack. Actually, I do know why. Listen, what they did, Dimps talked to Toriyama like 8 years before Daima came out. And they were like, Toriyama, who should we add in this DLC with two Zamasus? And Toriyama was like, oh, well, I'm gonna make this series called Dragon Ball Daima in like 8 to 9 years. And then I'm gonna reveal that all the pointy-eared races are actually from the Demon Realm. So actually, Bojack and Zamasu, Akai, are both Demon Realm races, and that's how they would fit together. But on to the next what if, and we're gonna go with another DLC, and we're gonna go with the Cell Max DLC. And okay, it's a Cell Max DLC. You know where I'm going with this. we're gonna make Perfect Cell Max, okay? But listen, we're gonna make it in a way that actually makes sense. And yes, to all my fellow nerds, we know that quote-unquote perfect Cell Max does not exist. Cell Max was already physically complete in DBS Superhero. He was only missing his brain, so he was like really dumb. But in this storyline, either because he had enough time or because they used some type of demon crystal or demon magic, Cell Max will have his brain and be able to fight at 100% efficiency. And if you think that's outlandish, please rewatch some Xenoverse DLC cutscenes, because Deborah used like regular Time Breaker demon magic to turn Baby into a Great Ape, and in that same DLC, Fu used a Demon Realm Crystal to turn base Vegeta into Super Saiyan 4, so crazier stuff has happened. But the reason why Cell Max having the brain will make him so much more dangerous, other than like key control stuff, but that's for nerds, is that he would be able to regenerate stuff. Because remember, the Namekians have to actively regenerate, and Cell, our Cell that had a complete brain, didn't know he could regenerate until after he fought Piccolo. So imagine we beat Cell Max somehow, but then he regenerates. And remember, Cell Max has Saiyan DNA. So we beat him, he regenerates, he comes back, and just like in the original, he's gonna come back with a power amp similar to Gohan's, you know. And the reason he's able to change his size so drastically is because he can use a mixture of his Namekian cells and his Frieza Ray cells. And we've only seen the Namekians grow super big, but Frieza races can grow big or small, so he can kind of just combine those powers, you know, and just look completely different too. So Cell Max will use a combination of those with his new Zenkai boost to transform into a pseudo perfect form. And listen, dude, and I know this sounds like super crazy and stupid, but like this is unironically really possible, especially with like Demon Realm crystals. Like, dude, this could easily happen. Also, to make this make a little bit more sense, in the beginning of the DLC, you fight against like evil purple perfect Cell. So maybe instead of having that be a separate fight, you can fight Cell Max and that Cell at the same time. So Cell Max can like see that version of Cell and try to emulate the appearance of Perfect Cell. I think that would be really cool. Also, it would give us a really cool chance to have dialogue between a Cell Max that's fully conscious and a Perfect Cell. And again, that DLC was already really cool because we had Android 21, Gamma 1 and 2, Android 16, Dr. Hedo, Fu, all talking to each other. So imagine the same way how that side of the Dr. Gero family got to talk to each other, we can see this side talk to each other with Cell and Cell Max. Just come on, give me my cool DeviantArt Pinterest Perfect Cell Max design, bro. I want it, bro. I want it. Also, Dimps, please add the destroyed Red Ribbon Army base. Please. That map just looks amazing. Now, for the last what if, I think this idea is really down to earth, and this is like really possible for like a potential thing that they could do, right? So, with the Future Saga, we're seeing a lot of really cool manga material references, right? So, Ultra Ego Vegeta, obvious reference right there. I love that a lot. Black Frieza, that reference, I love that a lot too. Really cool. Now, the next character I think we could reference is the manga version of Broly with his controlled Super Saiyan form. So basically, we're gonna do a different version of Battle of Gods. Instead of Beerus finding Goku and fighting him, we're gonna have it to where Beerus finds Broly. So I'm thinking that Fu can use his powers on the Oracle Fish. The Oracle Fish can tell Beerus that there's this really extremely strong Saiyan on a planet called Vampa. Beerus goes there, then our CAC has to go there because, you know, a battle between Beerus and Broly can go crazy. We don't want Broly to die, so we fight Broly ourselves. We beat Broly into base form, but Beerus sees how strong Broly is, so he takes Broly to his planet, Whis trains him, and after that, Broly gets his controlled Super Saiyan full power form. And listen, potentially maybe this is how we can get a Planet Vampa map, a Beerus Planet map. And listen, every Dragon Ball game needs to have the Beerus Planet map like as a base game thing, bro. It's so cool with the gigantic lake, the forest, the gigantic tree. Like, it is such a great map. We need that in all the games. That pretty much is it for this video though. I do have way more what if ideas, so I'll definitely make like a part 2. If you guys have some pretty cool ideas in the comment section, leave them down of things that you want to see in Xenoverse 3 when it comes to what if characters and stuff. Now, the Xenoverse 2 developers have stated they don't really want to put in Dragon Ball Heroes content in Xenoverse, which is fine. It's whatever. We can still get really cool what if ideas that they haven't done, and you know, stuff like Supreme.
Yes, he's just like us, making random what ifs. See, I already watched the video. I don't know why it didn't show, but alright, so Candido, I've been thinking about a bunch of ideas. So let me tell you what I got so far. So, Candido from top to bottom, and also got some more unique. So I got some more unique Xenoverse 2 what if scenarios. Gonna go more in depth with Bojack versus Kai's. Yeah, Bojack versus the Kais. That's going to be another thing. Android 13 showing up instead. I don't know why I didn't type this. Instead of Cell. And the Android arc. Turles coming to Earth instead of Vegeta and Nappa. Pycon taking Frieza's place in the Tournament of Power. The Trio to Danger surviving until the end. Next, the other thing that I had an idea for was what if Deborah during the Boo saga? What if Deborah showed up and took control of Boo? Basically, him and Bobbity control Boo, and also Deborah doesn't get beaten. I want to see what would happen if, like, Boo didn't absorb Deborah. Like, for instance, Super Saiyan 3 Saiyan 3 Goku versus Boo and Deborah. And maybe this could also be very cool for people who watch Daima. But Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta comes out. And Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta beats Deborah. But then I had this other idea, Candido. What if Goku is the one who gets the Majin symbol? What if Goku and Vegeta switch places and Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta has to be the one to fight Boo? And Goku is under Babidi's control. Or keep the cocoon, but instead of Boo, it's Goma that comes out with the third eye. You see, I also, with the idea of the third eye, I did want Deborah. To have the third eye in this. But it pretty much goes the same way, just with Goku and Vegeta switching places. Now, instead of the Spirit Bomb, I actually wanted Goku and Vegeta to fuse into Super Saiyan 3 Vegito. Well, actually, yeah. And the thing that they finish Boo with is the same attack they beat Janemba with, but in Super Saiyan 3. And boom, that's a DLC character I wanted to do for this arc. But I was thinking of other characters that could be added. Like, for example, we could add more Demon Realm centered characters. Oh, no, that's happening. Hey, what's up, Chidori? How you doing, man? How you doing? So, another thing that I wanted to do was, and this was gonna be another version of Goku, unfortunately, but this Goku can go Super Saiyan 3 with an added transformation. Now, you might be wondering, what kind of transformation could you add? Kaioken. Why do you always get so close to the mic when you say my name? I don't know what you mean, Chidori. What's good with you, man? Okay, but let me go from start to finish, though. So the first thing I have here is a retry option when you finish a parallel quest, win or lose. Rather than having to talk to people to do the same quest again, going through the same setup, right when you complete or fail a parallel quest, you have the option to retry. That would kill him. So Candido, that's the point. Because he's going to use this against Majin Buu. Rasengan better? Crazy. So, that's the first thing that I wanted to do. Next thing is shop changes. I have a whole section for just shop changes. For example, all accessory shop. I want them to add new scars. There could be face scars, full body scars as accessories. Because let's be honest, half of the accessories we don't even use. Plus, we can't even upgrade them. So it's like, I say upgrade, like color them. No, he's not. So, like I said, Vegeta and Goku switch places. So, Vegeta would be the one who would basically be dead. And Goku would be the one under Babidi's control. So, with the added scars as accessories, we could also get basic accessories added to the game. Like, for example, headbands, facial hair, which we don't have much facial hair options, scarves, bandanas, capes, earrings. Like, we don't have any of the just regular accessories in the game. And also, we should have the option to change, like, recolor accessories. We should have the option to get recolored accessories. Well, allow us to recolor accessories. And I had this option about at least 2 accessory slots for each CAC. Because it doesn't make sense. Most of the accessories we get are on different parts of the body. Like, you should be able to wear a scouter and a sword on your back. I don't know, that's just me though. I feel like it would be cool to have capes as an accessory also, because most of the capes in the game are a part of a full set, and I think it would be cool just to have a regular cape by itself so you can try different outfits with it. And obviously bandanas, Bardock's headband, like, you know, scarves, because why not? I mean, okay, next, the skill shop. Skill shop, this one, I want unobtainable skills that the cast has. Like, for instance, First Form Cell, Zenitsu Bullet. Why in the world don't we have that? Zenitsu Bullet on a CAC would be sick. And it would be a fun finisher to do against people. Besides that, another thing they can add just as a quality of life type of thing is recolorings of different skills. Like, there should be random different colors for the Kamehameha or Gallic Gun, you know? And they could do this for most of the generic skills and ultimates. Like Super Kamehameha, there should be different colors. Like, for example, Giant Storm, they could give us a different color for it. And also, festival skills in the TP and STP Metal Shop. Also, Makai, what you up to, man? But yeah, I feel like festival skills would make the most sense being in the TP and STP Metal Shop. Namekian shooting a green Kamehameha, yeah. Or being able to have different color variations of the special beam cannon. That'd be cool. Also, the TP and STP Metal Shop upgraded version. First off, Raid Super Souls and Raid Clothes that you can only get from raids should be in the TP and STP Metal Shop. We should also have items. I feel like the accessory items from Breakers, just put them there. Or like, basically, skills, Super Souls, and clothes that were only accessible through like timed events of the game, or like, for example, the Tapion clothes that you only had to play PvP for. Just give us it. It doesn't make sense. I don't know why. But yeah, we should at least have Raid Super Souls in the TP and STP Metal Shop. Same with clothes. Accessory items from the Breakers, because if y'all haven't experienced it... Oh, I got you, Chidori. You have a good one, man. See, I feel like the cost on TP medals is okay. But maybe I'm biased because I have so many. I have NPC changes. Hey bro, what's up? What's up, Chidori? What's up, man? Alright, so some changes to NPCs. You already know we gotta talk about Tosik. Because this man be annoying me. We need the Tosik TP level slider. We just need to do this so we're not just... We need that. Why you making out with the mic? What you mean, Chidori? I don't know what you mean, man. But yeah, just add a TP level slider. I also have this added thing that I specifically want to use either TP or STP. A TP level slider. So with Tosik, every time you have the TP medals for it, you can level up your CAC. Like he can level you up all the way to max if you have enough TP medals. But another issue with it is you have to constantly just press the button. You have to constantly press the button to level up. And it takes so long. So it's like, just give us a slider so we could just put it to 100 or put it to whatever the max level is. Boom. We're max level. Because your ass is rich. You right. I understood none of that, but okay. Hold on. Alright, take a look at this. You see what this person is doing? And let me go. So basically, with Tosik, you have to constantly press the button. And basically, oh, you want to boost your power? I can raise you up to another level. So you have to keep pressing it until you get to max level. Like, you just slide the level to max. Basically, you know how in like an RPG game, there's a slider that allows you to just get max items if you have enough money. It's basically like that, but with levels. Dang, this is... This man's still going. Okay, the next thing I want to do for Tosik is we gotta make him more useful than just our level up character. If anybody has to give us this, I feel like he does. At the cost of a good amount of TP medals, Tosik should give us the ability to have more presets. I just feel like of all characters, why not let Tosik, with all the money he has, allow us to have more presets for our CAC? I feel like that would be cool, and it's not a lot, but you know, it is what it is. Next, the stylist I want upgraded. I want the stylist to be able to turn a wig into a hairstyle. And it costs 1 million zenny. Now you might say that is a lot. But think about it, right now, what do you use zenny for? You don't use it for much. So yeah, for the stylist, that's what I want. For him to turn wigs into hairstyles costing 1 million zenny, I think that's fine. Next, I want Whis to get updated. And I know this sounds crazy, but hear me out. I want Whis to be able to reset our attributes or change our CAC name. And basically, you have to give him 3 different foods. Can only do this once per month. So you have the option of either resetting all your attribute points or changing your CAC's name. Throughout Xenoverse, whenever you make a character, that's your character, and you can't change the name of it. And with Shenron's wishes, we can't change the name. But you know who can? An angel. So, Whis should be able to change our names, at least. And again, you have to give him 3 different foods, once per month. You can either reset your attribute points or change your CAC's name. I think that's okay. It's not crazy, it's not like broken or anything, but giving us an option or a way to change our CAC's names, I think is okay. Because some of us, we have this CAC and we messed up the name or something. Bro, my name is Sinich. Like, my CAC's name is Sinich. Because I'm like, well, just take out the P, add a spinach, and bam, that's my CAC's name. But honestly, I wanted to change it to something else. So, yeah, that's what I want for Whis. There's another thing I want, but I also added some new NPCs. Candido, are you ready for this? Granted, I only put 2 new CS NPCs here. Oh, the reason why I put once a month, Candido, is because it's either one or the other. And I know it sounds crazy, like for Whis specifically, I think giving him 3 different foods and it's once per month. Because let's be honest, you're not going to be using this once a week. Maybe resetting your attribute points, but changing your CAC's name, once you change it the first time, you don't really need to do anything with it. Yeah, people would abuse it. That's why I'm saying once a month, because it's like, it gives everybody enough time, and it's a pretty big time to wait, and also have enough for 3 different foods. I feel like that should be enough. Now, I have 2 new NPCs here, but I actually want to add more because, again, for this one, I'm putting everything. That I should see all at the same time, bro. It happens.
She isn't back then. You've been lied to by a creature who wants to destroy us all.
Is that what I told you? I know my wife's voice.
I miss my sister as much as you do. This is not the way to honor her memory.
Did you honor her when you turned her away from the game? What now? What you did it again?
Okay, so the first new NPC that I'm adding is the photographer. So the photographer, he will always hold a contest for Canton City's best pictures. Players vote for the best pictures. Winner gets a personal illustration of their character. Because I added this NPC because there's a lot of people that want this and they don't have the money to like ask somebody to make them an illustration of their CAC, right? So why don't we have this for Canton City's best pictures? Like a time patroller whose whole thing is about seeing the beauty. CKG would love that. Yeah. Plus, it would be cool. It could be a really cool thing because this could really show off people's creativity. Because I also want an upgrade to the photo mode. An upgrade to the photo mode allowing you to do a little bit more than what we can do right now. Granted, you can do a lot with the photo mode, but I wouldn't mind a little bit more, personally. Now, that's the first NPC. The second NPC is the martial arts master. I've talked about him before, but he will be able to change your CAC's fighting style. And training under him, you can learn the fighting style of any master you have fully maxed out. And he can teach you the fighting styles of custom partners by defeating them in certain missions with a fighting style. Like, for example, you can get the fighting style of Deborah if you beat Deborah with Gohan, like Ultimate Gohan or Super Saiyan Gohan. Or, for example, you can get the fighting style of Vegito. You can get the fighting style of Vegito if you fight him with Fusamasu. Or if you fight him with Buhan. Like that, I'm working out the kinks for it just to make sure there's a mission for every single custom partner, because I'm mainly focusing on the custom partners for this. Yeah, it's doing challenges like you would for any of the other mentors, but you can get the moveset of any custom partner you have. I also wanted to add new custom partners. Yeah, I wanted to add new custom partners, which I'm going to go more in depth with later on. But I have 3 new wishes for Shenron. I would add all of them, but I'm picking the 3 that would benefit a lot of people. I'd be an ass and make the ones that people really want, like difficult challenges. Well, you see, there's okay. I'm not doing Ultra Instinct Goku. But there are multiple Vegetas in there, multiple Gokus also. I also wanted to add new upgrades to custom partners. Like, for example, Saiyans that don't have it, they will have Super Saiyan. Some of them will have up to Super Saiyan 2, but Super Saiyan regardless. Adding new transformations to characters. Yes. Adding new abilities to characters that need it, that makes sense. Yes. Like, for example, and I've talked about this before, Bojack barely has moves. So, I just realized, like, anybody with green moves can be put on Bojack. Like, for example, Bojack, it would make sense for him to have the perfect shot. It would make sense for him to have, like, the blaster. What, I forget what the name was from Kefla, but the blaster ball, where, you know, you throw all the green energy balls. And eraser gun makes sense. And I realized that Bojack is really a grappler. That dude has a lot of grabs. So I'm gonna put more grab moves on him. I'm gonna be going through the other characters, because for Janemba and Deborah, well, for Janemba, I put a lot of Deborah's moves on Janemba, and Fu's moves as well. See, I don't know if I want to give CAC's Ultra Instinct fighting style, you know? I don't know if I want to. He put Gohan in a bear hug, yeah. He really did. So, the 3 Shenron wishes. The first one is, I want luck on my next quest. Next parallel quest, you will get every item/skill on the list unless you die in that parallel quest. And a big RNG wish. It will give people a reason to get Dragon Balls. It will give people a reason to play the game. It will also help the game with its own RNG by giving you a wish that gives you everything as long as you stay alive. I think that's fine. Next, and I think people are going to like this, I want new customization. Allow CACs some new fully customizable clothes. It will give you, so there's 3, you can make this wish 3 times. First time, you get all of Toa's outfit. Second time, you get the entire Timebreaker set. And the last time, you get Mira's outfit. So, Toa, Timebreaker, Mira's outfit. All fully customizable. I think that's cool. I think it's cool. Last but not least, so let's say they don't allow Whis to change the name of a CAC, even though he technically should be. He's a freaking angel. But I made a wish just in case, called Give Me a Brand New Body. It would allow people to change their gender, give them a different race to play, well, give them the option of picking a different race to play. Maybe you can also change the character's name, as well as any customization options that come with the original wish. But it maintains the same level your CAC is at. If you have a level 180 CAC currently and you make this wish, whatever race you choose will be that same level. It will be max level. I think this would be great for a lot of people. I think a lot of people would like it because they could try different races as well. So yeah, that's one of the Shenron wishes. I think that will be a lot of people will like it. You burning stuff up more than Rockstar? Look. I don't care. I'm sick of allowing the bare minimum. I'm sick of it. Cause bro, some of the games that come out, I like it, but it's like they don't do anything, and I get it. They only care about money now. Well, too bad. We like quality over quantity. No matter how many DLCs you give Xenoverse, that game's still dookie butter. In different aspects. The game is fun, don't get me wrong, but we want the game to be better. It's 2026, why wouldn't we want it to be better? I also have some game mode changes. Mainly the cross versus. For cross versus, I want more rewards. That's facts, Candido. That's facts. For cross versus, I want mainly the rewards to be centered around breakers. Like, all breakers outfits, we should be able to unlock with cross versus. It would literally give people a big reason to play the game. Because let's be honest, people only play cross versus when the Festival of Universes comes around. That's literally the only time people play cross versus. So we need to give people a better reason to play cross versus. Alright, now some CAC changes. I think people will like this one. Give CACs the option to remove logos off the clothes. It might sound small, and it might sound like a useless thing, until you really think about how many clothes in Xenoverse have a logo. So being able to turn off logos on your CAC's clothes, that could be pretty cool. I think so. Anyways. Oh, new Super Souls for each transformation. I want at least 5 new Super Souls for each transformation. Because, like, for example, how many transformation Super Souls do we have for Nimbus? Power Pole Pro. It's probably like 1. Because literally nobody uses Power Pole Pro. And also, Super Souls need to have permanent buffs, bro. And don't get me wrong, I like some of the temporary buffs because they be cool, but if it only activates one time, man, nobody's gonna use it. We already have power, like the power creep with Super Souls is so good. Add this somewhere, Power Pole Pro, buff Power Pole Pro. I want to buff every transformation that's like not getting used. Like I want Kaioken to get a buff, bro. Cause I was thinking about it. For Kaioken, there should be a Super Soul that increases your physical attack, but increases your durability, or like you take less damage when you activate Kaioken times 20. Maybe that's just me. I'm just throwing it out there. But these are just... When was the last time we had a permanent Super Soul? Was that last DLC? It feels like it anyways. Oh yeah. Here's another thing. This arc is done. I quit. First off, what's good, Yamil? Second, is this true? I hope you're doing good, brother. I don't remember. I don't either. Another thing, since a lot of people like the loading screens, they should give us animated loading screens. Like, I won't lie, an animated loading screen would literally... People would play that. I mean, people would like that, personally. Also, weekdays should literally be double XP, well, double XP, double TP medals, double Zenny. Like, weekdays should literally be the best time to grind. Yeah, I'm alright, I guess. College hoeing me. How are the classes, by the way? We still have yet to have Patara earrings and the time ring as an accessory. We still have yet to have that, by the way. We don't even have Kai ears. She hasn't responded, so I'm assuming. Look, man. It is what it is. Just move on. Do not pay attention to a crack on the road. Okay, so I do have some other ones. Like, for example, I talked about the Dragon Ball questionnaire. I might as well add that as a new game mode. Hold on.
TurboTax.com.
Looking at waste on textbook. My professor talking about some tests every day. 15% of my grade. She's asking. Your professor is asking for a lot. That professor made us buy her textbook like she wrote it. That's corny. How have I been? I've been alright. Been trying to learn how to make videos, but I don't know, man. It's either me or my computer, but I just can't make videos. Like, legitimately. Besides that, though, I've been all right. Why so? See, I don't. Not only is it like complicated for me to an extent, but my computer is literally not working with half of these apps. Like half of these things that allow me to edit. My computer ain't working with most of them. That sucks. It does, man. I just need to find a way to, like, make it work. This game is 80% cutscenes? What game you talk about? Death Stranding? Yeah, it is. It is. Like, the game is fun, but there's way too many cutscenes. Walking sim. I'm gonna see if I can do something. What are you trying to do? Nah, like, send me the footage. I'm gonna see if I can help you out with the editing, brother. Oh, really? Well, I was actually just gonna pick like maybe one or two random streams and try to make a video from that. That was my goal. If I'm in and out, I'm at the gym. Yeah. So I do see how long I've been streaming. So the next thing that's gonna happen is I'm gonna be playing Xenoverse, and then I'm gonna play some Pirate Warriors. I'm gonna do those two, and then a Twitch stream, because I need to make sure I keep up with YouTube and Twitch equally. So I'm gonna go take a little break, and then Xenoverse. Alright, y'all. Oh, wait, I can play this. I forgot I can play this music now. So, Yamil, look, I'm sorry that happened, but hey, the good thing is you learned from it. You learned from this. Remember that. You learned from it, so now if it happens again, you can do the same thing you did and just push it away, focus on what's important. I'm sorry that that you had to go through it, but sometimes you got to go through something to understand why it's bad. Unfortunately. Okay, so y'all, I'm gonna be back playing some Xenoverse. Actually, I'll play Pirate Warriors first, and then Xenoverse. Yeah, I'm learning my calling is becoming a monk. Yes, man. Speaking of calling, so thank you all. Hope you all have a good rest of your day or night, whatever time zone. And we'll end it with some The World Ends With You.